What's going on, Packers Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Packers Latest, and happy Victory Monday. As always, I'm your host, Taylor Bretl, keeping you up to date on the latest news on the green and gold Green Bay Packers, and that latest news being a win for Green Bay, 23-6 over the Minnesota Vikings. Another win in the NFC North. Some great stuff to see. Before we get into the video, feel free to like, subscribe, do anything as you please. Leave a comment on anything you want to see, anything you want to talk about this game and about the week moving forward. I'll make sure to tune into those. Want to keep building a strong community here among fans of the green and gold. But got to start it off with the offense in this game. It was a defensive masterclass, but got to give your credit to the offense as well. And how about Emmanuel Wilson? Wow. This guy has a pretty incredible story to the NFL. If you don't know much on it, I highly recommend you look it up. Let's just say, long story short, D2 football player, didn't get drafted, got signed to the Broncos, released to the Broncos. Packers took him in, and they have loved him in Green Bay ever since. Emmanuel Wilson rushing for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win over Minnesota, and just absolutely incredible. It's just something you really love to see for a guy that's been a Green Bay Packer ever since the Jordan Love era in 2023. Got some very neat numbers on Wilson here. You look at the headline as well, 107 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game for Green Bay. He had 2 catches for 18 yards as well, so got involved in the passing game just a little bit. But also, this is something really neat to note. He's the first Packer to rush for 100 yards in a game since Josh Jacobs about exactly 1 year ago on November 24th, 2024, in that win over the San Francisco 49ers, where Jacobs had 106. So Wilson notching over him by just 1 yard, but very, very, very nice and neat to see for Mr. Wilson. Truly an incredible game. He was looking great on the field all day, getting great holes from the offensive line. Got to tip your cap to them as well. And he looked comfortable in there. He looked like a starting running back on a high-level team like the Packers, now sitting at 7-3-1. He looked very comfortable in there. Obviously, the numbers will speak for themselves. Didn't get too much into the passing game, which he has been in a little bit before, but still those 2 catches, 18 yards, just a little cherry on top to the day that he had. But got to tip your cap. Packers just 23 points in this one. Emmanuel Wilson had 14 of them. I guess you could say 12, but we'll call it 14 of those 23 points. A huge day for the backup, and honestly, he played like a true starter. Really, really nice to see this depth that Green Bay has to offer. Looks like Josh Jacobs will be back for that game on Thursday against the Detroit Lions. But hey, if Jacobs needs some rest, coming off a knee injury, if he needs some carries to be split, Emmanuel Wilson, man, what a backup option the Packers have. What a steal and what a find. You can call it diamond in the rough. Whatever analogy you want to use, I think it'll attribute pretty well to Emmanuel Wilson and what he has done for this Green Bay Packers organization and what he did for them to get the huge 23-6 win and another win in the NFC North. Got to transition over. You got to see the offense did well. But let's go over to the defensive side and look at how Green Bay put J.J. McCarthy under pressure all game long. My gosh, this Green Bay defense has looked phenomenal this season. You got a couple iffy games in there. You can go to week 4, that 40-point game against Dallas. That's one kind of throw away, forget about it. Maybe not the result. You want to learn things from that one. But for how you view this defense and how you evaluate them, let's just take that game out of consideration. Let's really look at them recently as well. A 2-game win streak the Packers are on, and just 6 points given up in this one against the Minnesota Vikings. And man, it was really, really, really nice to see. They looked fresh. They looked all super young. I mean, it is a young defense overall, but man, they were quick and they were ready to go. Going into some of the numbers here for the defense as a whole, let's go down the list. Pass deflections, 4 of those. Tackles for loss, they had 7. That's the most in a game since the win over the Cardinals earlier this season on October 19th. 5 sacks in this game. 5. Also the most in a game since that same Cardinals game on October 19th. 7 tackles for loss and 5 sacks. Let's go to the quarterback hits overall. 10 of those. 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits. They were not making J.J. McCarthy have any fun out there today on Lambeau Field. 2 interceptions as well for this Green Bay Packers defense. It's the first game with 2 interceptions since December 15th, 2024 in that win over the Seattle Seahawks. Really nice to see. This Packers defense has played well, but really not gotten the takeaways. So really nice to see 2 interceptions there. One from Isaiah McDuffie, who we're going to get into in just a little bit, and one from Evan Williams to really seal the deal. J.J. McCarthy, his final line in this one, just 12 for 19, 87 yards. No touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's about as good as you can do if you're the Packers defense. Maybe you can say, oh, we should have let him complete 12 of 19 passes. No, this is a phenomenal day. This was just not a fun day for J.J. McCarthy, not a fun day for the Minnesota Vikings offense as a whole, but a very fun day for Jeff Hafley and crew. You look at the Vikings, those 6 points, it's the fewest points the Vikings have scored against the Packers in a game since 2010. Just really attributes to what this Green Bay Packers defense has been all season and what they have been in their division games. Just 2 of them, that week 1 game against Detroit, where they only gave up 13 points to the Lions, and then this one here against the Minnesota Vikings, where they gave up just 6. Very nice to see. Want to get into the defense a little bit more specific and highlight Isaiah McDuffie, and you just have to clap it up for him. What a story he's been as well. I believe a 6th round pick. He comes out of Boston College. I believe he's a 6th round pick. And what you saw him do on the field today, you would not really believe that he was a 6th round pick for how well he was filling the shoes. This guy takes over for Quay Walker, who is out with a neck injury, gets that captain patch, and really plays true to it. A neat quote from the broadcast with Greg Olsen and Joe Davis on the call. During the broadcast, in quotes, they said, "How many guys around the league are playing 12 to 14 snaps and get voted team captain? Not many." Isaiah McDuffie, a rare opportunity, a rare time with something like this happening. I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but another quote from them, kind of on how McDuffie plays, which I found very funny. It says, "A lot of the times he looks like the water boy running around and decking people." I mean, McDuffie was truly flying all around the field, and a huge reason why this Green Bay defense gave up just 6 points. Effective on the run, effective on the pass, and let's get into some of those stats. He had 9 total tackles in this win, which led the Packers. The next closest was just 4, which was a 5-way tie. So more than double the next closest for total tackles in this game. He also added a half a sack, had a pass deflection, and collected an interception. He did it all. I mean, an incredible game from him. Got to also give credit to Rashawn Gary on that interception that McDuffie ended up catching. Rashawn Gary, the one to hit J.J. McCarthy's arm on the way forward and cause that turnover. But McDuffie filling in the shoes for Quay Walker, who's been very good for the Packers this season. Quay Walker leading the Green Bay Packers in tackles, at least entering this game. Maybe it's a little bit different now after he missed this one. But he was leading the Packers in tackles with 84 and was leading them in solo tackles with 41, tied with Edgerrin Cooper. And Isaiah McDuffie had very, very, very big shoes to fill, and it was really nice to see what he could do for Green Bay. Another guy you just have to clap it up for on this Green Bay defense, on this Green Bay team as a whole, all around the NFL. I mean, this performance was on notice. But we got to get into just some of the final takeaways from this game overall, and it truly was just a very good win. I mean, there's no way to really sugarcoat it. It was a needed win. I know that they just got a win against the New York Giants, but that was a 27-20 game that came down to the last play of the game where you got an interception on the second to last drive from New York, and on the very last play of the game, you got that strip sack fumble caused by Micah Parsons. This one a little more comfortable. Offense still needs to get things going. It was just 10-6 entering the half, so it's really nice to see the defense playing strong all 4 quarters. 23 points is not bad, but when you see how the Packers got 23 points, they really could have added more. The offense looked a little stuck at times. Jordan Love not really throwing the football too much in this one, and I don't have the stats here on me at the moment for Jordan Love's final line, but I believe it was just about 14 completions for near 150 yards. He really didn't need to do much. That was the reality. Packers were just really milking that clock. Emmanuel Wilson was having an absolute career day out there, to say the least, career high in rushing yards. As I mentioned, that stat as well, first 100 rushing yard game in nearly a whole calendar year. But Jordan Love not really doing much, but that also goes with a lot of injuries. Tucker Kraft out for the year, Matthew Golden not playing in this one, Jaden Reed's been out for most of the year. So I think when the guys start to get back, Jordan Love will get a little bit more involved, but he really did not do much. That's nothing to him. It's just he really did not throw the football much in general, but again, did not need to with a 23-6 win, a dominating win, a needed win. Something to note as well, that win moves the Packers up to 2-0 in the NFC North. Last year, just 1-5 in the NFC North as a whole. And you look, this year 2-0. I know it's just been week 1 and now this most recent game, but wins against the Lions and a win against the Vikings. So they still got a lot of division play yet to go. They'll have to see the Vikings once more, Lions once more, and the Bears twice. But really nice to see Green Bay trending up in a direction where they really struggled last season. That was a big question mark, that kind of highlighted Green Bay entering the playoffs. You see their division, it was a competitive division with the Lions with 15-2 record, Vikings 14-3, and you see the Packers could not do too well against those two teams, against the division as a whole. But that's all I got for you guys today in this one. Again, happy Victory Monday to all of you out there. I appreciate you tuning in to every single video of Packers Latest, and we'll have a lot more to talk about with a short week coming up with the Packers playing the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. But that'll do it all for today, and as always, go Pack Go.